Hey guys, and welcome to another tutorial on the channel. This is StylewithChika, and in this video you're going to be learning how to make this beautiful both neckline asymmetrical gown you can see on my client. If this is something you're interested in, please keep on watching. If you find this video very helpful, please leave a like. Also, tell me what you think about this dress in the comments. You can also ask your questions in the comments. And if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please subscribe so you do not miss out on any of our amazing and beginner friendly tutorials. And let's get started with this one. So I'm going to be drafting my pattern. Drafting your pattern is very important for this style, and for my pattern paper, it's long enough and I have it on a fold. So at this part, I'm just going to draw a straight line, which is going to be our shoulder and our starting line. So from this line, you want to take your bust point, you want to take your under bust point, you also want to take your waistline, then take your hip line, come down by 1 inch from your hip line and leave a mark, and then you mark out the full length of your gown. So I'm just going to extend all these lines as this. So now I've gone ahead to extend these lines and I've labeled them. This is my shoulder, bust, under bust, waist, hip. And remember, I came down by 1 inch from my hip line. I'll tell you what we'll be using this line for later on. Just make sure that you draw it, and that's why I indicated it with a gray marker. And this is the full length. I did not add any allowance to this pattern because after drawing my pattern in 2, it was still not enough for allowance, but it was enough for the normal gown measurement. So I'll be adding my allowance to my fabric itself. So just in case you're wondering how my pattern paper is this long, please just notice that I added a pin to pin 2 pattern papers together. And I will be cutting my front and my back on this piece here. I'll show you how to modify it later for your back. So first thing I'm going to do is to mark out my neckline. The neckline of this dress, I'm making use of 4 inches because it is a boat or canoe neckline, whichever one you want to call it. It is not the standard neckline, it is a bit wide. So I'm making use of 4 inches, post the normal 3 inches of standard neckline. My neck depth, I'm going to be making use of about 3.5 inches. So I'll go ahead and connect this. And from here again, I'll go ahead and take my shoulder measurement divided by 2. I'll mark that out, and then from this part here, I'm going to add my sleeve measurement. Do the same to yours. And other than my sleeve measurement, I'm going to add 1 inch of stitching allowance. So from this point here, I'll just come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll be connecting from this point I have here to my neckline. So now I want to go ahead and mark out my sleeve. But then before marking out my sleeve, I also have to consider my armhole measurement. This is why. So if I want to mark out my sleeve measurement now, it means that I will take my round sleeve measurement divided by 2. For me, that gives me 6. But if I use this, given that this is a kimono sleeve, if I use this width for my sleeve, it is not going to be able to pass freely. It will not be as free as it is. So instead of using my sleeve measurement now, I'll use my round armhole measurement for my sleeve. So to get your round armhole measurement, take your bust measurement divided by 6 and add 1.5 inches to it. And after you've had that, you can still go ahead and add allowance to this so that it is free. Please do not make it tight, okay? So for my allowance, I'll add an extra allowance of 1.5 inches to this. So this becomes my main mark right here. I'll go ahead and connect it upward to complete my sleeve here. So now I'm going to take my bust measurements divided by 4 and I'll mark it out on my bust line, add an extra 1.5 inches of allowance. Now come to my waistline, mark out my waist measurement divided by 4, add an extra 1.5 inches of allowance, and then I'll just connect upward like this. So for some people, your under bust measurement and your waist measurement will be the same thing. In that case, you can just go directly to your waist and mark out your waist and leave the under bust. But for some people, different shapes differ. So you can go ahead and also mark out your underbust measurements separately so that you can just follow the shape of your body. I do hope you understand. So from here now, I'm just going to connect this point to this one like this. So this is what it looks like here. But then if you look at the style, this part of the sleeve looks curved, so I'm just going to curve it in like this. It's very much optional, okay? I'll just curve it like this. Then I'm going to come to my hip line, this one here, not the green one. I'll mark out my round hip measurement divided by 4, and I'll add the same 1.5 inches of stitching allowance. So I'm just going to go ahead and complete these at the side like this. So you just complete it downward as a little bit of an A-line. So now that I have this, I'll just go ahead and cut this out. Alright, so now I'm gonna ahead to cut this out. I'm just going to open this up like this. So after opening this up, I'm going to extend this green line and this black line. Alright, so now this is my waist and this is my new hip line. So this is the hip line that I'll be using for my asymmetrical curve that I'll be having at the waist. So for the curve, it's going to come from here to here. Okay, so I'm going to come to my waistline here, and then for my waistline here, I'm just going to come down by about 3 inches from my waistline like this. And from this point, I'm going to connect down here with a curve. So I increased my hip line because if you look at the style, you'll notice that the gathers falls a little below the actual hip line. But don't overdo this, if not, it's going to look very funny if it falls way below, okay? So just make sure it's seated just about your hip line area. So just go ahead and curve this like this. Make it as curved as possible, okay? Alright, so now I'm just going to go ahead and cut along this point. Alright, so this is what I have for my upper parts. I'm going to be making use of this to cut out on my material for my front and my lining for my front. I'll also make use of it to cut out for my back, but first I'll do for my front before doing for my back so I can alternate it for the prevention of zipper bulge. So for my lower piece here, I'm going to be doing a splash and spread method. So for this splash and spread method, I'm just going to start here. And for this splash and spread method, I'm just going to start here and I'll draw lines like this. I mistakenly cut this. So I'm going to name this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so you can just splash it as much as you want and then label it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this into individual pieces. So now you can see that I've gone ahead to cut all of this open, and when I'm cutting it out of my fabric, I'll just spread it open. I'll just spread it open like this so it can be long enough, and then I'll follow the shape. I'll follow the shape at the top and I'll cut it out. While I'm cutting it out, I'll replace my allowance that I was not able to add on the lower parts, and when I do that, I'll show you how it looks like. But first, I'm going to cut out my upper parts so I can show you how to alternate your back, alternate what you have to get your back piece. So to do this, I'm making use of 3 yards of this Junko sew material that I have here, and I have my lining too. So I'm just going to cut out on my material and my lining for the upper parts. So now I just went ahead to fold my material in 2, and I placed my pattern on top of it. The only place I added allowance when I was cutting is at the base here, and at my neckline here. Every other place I cut it as it is. This material dances around a lot to do. So now I've cut it out, I'll open it, and then I'll open this one so that it can follow the shape all the way up. So I'm going to do that so that I can modify this for the back. So now I'll just go ahead and mark the back part of this material so I know which side is the back. Okay, and I'm just going to place my pattern on top. I'll place with my scissors for extra weight on my pattern, and I'll go ahead and trace this out just like you can see me doing. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and cut out the lining for this one. So for my back, when I'm cutting out on my material, I'll be adding my zipper allowance directly on my material. Okay, but first I want to adjust this to avoid zipper bulge. So to do that, I'll just come here. I'll come here to my waistline. This is my other bust line, and this is my waistline. Okay, this is where zipper bulge is most likely to come out from. So to avoid this now, at my waistline here, I'm just going to come here and I'll come up by, let's say, 1 inch like this, and I'll connect it into my waistline. On the lower part, I'll come down by about half to 1 inch also, and I'll connect it like this. So now I'm just going to cut it like this, and I'll cut this one like this. So I'm going to close it off like this. But remember that this back is still open, it's still closed, so I'm going to open it like this. Okay, so this is what I have for one part. You can just tape this down like this so that it's easy for you. I don't have a tape right here, but I'll just hold it down while I'm cutting. Okay, tape it down like this and follow the shape. But then when you're cutting your back, you just add 1 inch of allowance, or at least 1.5 inch of allowance at the side here for your zipper. And then I'll just do the same thing for this other side. So with that now, when you bring it together, you would have avoided your zipper bulge. So guys, this is for my back piece. I've gone ahead to use my pattern to cut out on my material and my lining. I followed all the shapes and I added zipper allowance. So this is my pattern, although it's a bit torn up now. Let me just show you how I added my zipper allowance. You can see at the side here, I added an extra allowance for my zipper, okay? Other than the original cutting. When I was cutting this side, I just closed it up, and that's why you can see that this has a little inner curve in here, but I've already thrown my patterns. So I also cut out on my front. So if you are using a stretchy material, you don't need to take a dart. You don't need to take a dart on the material. Although I'm not using a stretchy material, from the original style, I observed that there was no dart. So I am not bothering to add a dart to this dress. Okay, but if you like to add a dart to your maybe for better fitting, you can go ahead and do that. If you notice, I did not put allowance for that. I did not draft a dart when I was drafting the pattern. So now to start sewing, I'm going to turn over the neckline. I'll turn over the zipper allowance, and then I'll turn over the sleeve here and turn over the sides. I'll do the same thing to this part. Zipper allowance, the neckline, all the way to this side, and then I'll repeat the same thing for my front piece, which I have here. I've also cut it out on my material on my lining, although I just deepened my neckline a bit because for the front I deepened my neckline a bit because I felt like it was a little bit too high. So I'm just going to turn in the neckline, and then I'll turn in the sleeves and the sides. After that, I'll give all of this a good press. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna head to turn all these pieces inside out with the lining, and this is what it looks like. So the next thing that I'm going to do would be to join on the shoulders. I'll be joining them right sides facing each other, just like you can see me arranging. So I'm going to join on the shoulder and weave on it, and after that I'll just go ahead and fix my zipper into this back space. Okay, when I'm fixing my zipper, I'll just stop it around somewhere here because somewhere around here is also my hip line, so that it can be able to pass my hip and I can wear it easily. So I'll fix my zipper from the top here to this point and join on my shoulders. So now this is what the shoulder looks like after joining it. I will use an elastic on it later to gather it, give us that ruched effect we can see. But then I've also gone ahead to fix my zipper. This is what it looks like. This is also what it looks like from the back. So before I attach my gathers, I'm just going to close up the side of this dress by the amount of allowance I have left. Since I added 1.5 inches of allowance to the pattern and I have turned this over with ½ inch, it means that I have about 1 inch left at the side. So I'm going to close up the sides of this dress by 1 inch before going ahead to attach my gathers. Alright, now you can see I've just gone ahead to mark this out. I've actually sewed on the line too, but when I was joining it, despite the fact that it was 1 inch allowance I had at this side, when I was closing this sleeve area, I started from ½ inch before I came into the 1 inch all the way at the side. You can see the same thing at this side. So now I've just gone ahead to sew and close up the sides, okay, and this is what it looks like. So at this lower part now, I'm going to be gathering my material on it, and I'll show you just how to do this. So for your splash and spread, as much material as you have, this is just how you open it up. Spread it on your material, cut out one for your gathering of the front part of your dress, cut out another for the gathering of the back part of your dress. As much material as you have, you can go ahead and space out these pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut on it now, following the line, the curve and everything. So this is what I have after following the shape to cut it out. I wanted to add allowance to the length of the dress, but my material was not enough. So at least I have ½ inch of allowance from the pattern paper. This dress will not be less than 1 inch of the original length, which is not very bad. So for yours, if you have not added allowance to your pattern paper, add your allowance right on your material. Okay, so this is what I have 2 pieces of this, one for the front, one for the back. So I'm going to be gathering this on the waist to hip line, the curve that I have, and it's just going to be asymmetrical, as you can see it going. So now after you have cut out that piece for your gathers, you go ahead and join on the 2 sides together. Now according to the slants of the gathers, I do hope you understand, you can see how it's curving down like this. That's how I am going to gather it all across this part like this. I have closed up the 2 sides, so the 2 sides are closed up. Okay, now it's just one round big piece. I will just pin down on this side, then I will gather everything here. I have already gone ahead to hem the edge, the lower part of this piece that I'm gathering. So I'm going to gather this and give this a good weave so I can work on my sleeves. So next, I just went ahead to work on my sleeves. I cut a little bit of elastic, ½ inch elastic, and I attached it at the back along a straight line after weaving it, and that's how I got this ruched effect on both sides. I couldn't film that part because I was in a hurry to finish this dress. And then this is what I have for my gather. Sadly, I did not get a picture from my customer, but if I eventually do, I'll be posting it up on this channel so you all can see how it turned out. But trust me that it turned out very beautiful. So this is all I have for this tutorial. I do hope you'll be trying this out, and if you did find this tutorial helpful, do well to leave us a like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye guys.